Hello everyone, Canadagraphs here. I am in Burnaby today, which is just east of Vancouver, to do another Arrowverse look back set location. I had to kind of leave the area for this one. This is a very interesting one, and we're going to go to more than one location in the area. Both of them have some pretty notable stuff to them. So let me turn the camera around and we will start this walk. It's probably going to be a long one because there's a couple blocks to walk between them. But let's start with where we are first. Alright, if I can figure out how to throw. Alright, so we start off with this building here, which you probably are like, oh, there's nothing much about this building. And you'd be right to say that now. This walkway that I am currently standing on did not exist a few years ago. This used to be a big gravel parking lot. And these doors back here, these doors were the entrance and exits for cast members to come in and out of the secondary studio for Arrow. So this is where Arrow would do their secondary scenes. They have their main studio, which would be at the Vancouver Film Studio, which someday I'll take you out there. But this is their secondary one. They did things here like the police station stuff, and a few other things were done usually in this studio. There's going to be a bit of walking involved, so I'm probably gonna run out of things to yap about during it. But where we started there would have been the parking lot that they used to use for storing all the trailers when they were filming here. So there used to be a big chain link fence at the front there that would stop people from just walking in there, but you could still see everybody go in and out of there pretty freely. Yeah, so that would have been the back area where they would have usually done their like put the trailers in that. So around this side here, that staircase that's closest to us there, they used that a few times for like entranceways to buildings. They used it for the police station once or twice. They've used it for a couple others. In fact, this like whole outer area here they've used a couple of times for things. But that's not really the big thing to show here. I mean, it's something, but it's not why I trekked all the way out here. Also, that gravel parking lot thing I was telling you about, important to remember that that is an important place in the lore of a thing that I am kind of known for by some people, which I'll get to when we get to the next thing, which will be where an actual location happened that you will probably know. It takes a minute to get there. Like I said, there's going to be a bit of walking around this one. After we leave here, we're heading down that way even further to see another location that some people will remember that kind of is the spawn for the Arrowverse. But first we got to get around this corner here. So down this gated fenced area here, straight down there in the back, see how they've got all sorts of like little like nooks and crannies down there. This is where they filmed the scene in Crisis on Infinite Earths that Lucifer shows up for. Somewhere down there is the Lux for the Arrowverse scene. That's what I meant when I was talking about the gravel parkway. Those of you that obviously followed my Twitter back in the day, know that I reported about Tom being here, and the reason I posted about Tom being here was because someone in that driveway that we started at decided to shoot his high beams at me instead of just, not being an asshole. And because of that, that's one of the biggest stories I am usually attached to. So yeah, I was standing about here with a couple of friends, and this fence did not exist back then. So you could look straight down there and see what was going on. They used this alleyway dozens of times. They would dress it up in different ways. You know, put a sign here, garbage can there, some loose branches here to make it look different every time. But they used this alleyway for a lot of different scenes over the years. And on top of this roof, which we can't see from here, they used up there too. Now, I don't know for a fact, but I'd be pretty surprised if they never used this dock bay for anything. So here where we're looking right now in this parking lot would have been like the end of their parking lot back in the day. So where we started, you know, was the other end of the parking lot. This would have been the other end of that, which is, you know, it's a pretty big parking lot. They were definitely able to fit a lot of stuff in here back in the day. So we're now going to go for a bit more of a walk. This is like another block or so, but these houses that you're seeing in here are part of the location of the set I'm going to tell you about, which these houses weren't here when the location existed, but they do now. They built this several years ago, which tells you how long ago this location was not here, but we will get there in a moment. I don't know how good the view is from out here. I mean, I know from Google Maps, which I'll post a photo from Google Maps in a moment here to show you what it used to look like back in the day, and you'll be like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. But now, as you can see, they've built over top of what used to be there. And I'll show you as soon as we get around this building that's over there that you can see through the trees. But like I said, a bit of a walk. So this building here that's kind of hidden by trees, fortunately you can't see very well in there right now. Maybe I'll take you around the front if we get to the corner. This building used to be the studio for Smallville. Not Smallville in Superman and Lois, but Smallville, the TV series. Then it went dormant for several years. It was empty for several years. Whoops. Just stumbled on some dirt. It was empty then after that for several years. And that's when they started building all this stuff around it. These houses over here in this corner also did not exist back then. Smallville, I keep forgetting the name of the show, sorry. Smallville had built an entire town from that end of the buildings all the way down to those ones that I showed you that are new. That used to be all property of the Smallville set at one time. They were slowly building it up over the years. They first just got the studio, then they added a little bit here, extended out a little bit there, and then eventually they just took over this entire block. This area here that I'm looking at right now is the first area they started developing when they started tearing down the set. The set stayed up for maybe about another year or so after the show wrapped. It was still there. Then they kind of tore it down and started building all these condos here, and there's no sign they were ever around here now. That is the long and short of more or less what I'm going to show you. I'm just going to show you the front of the Smallville building. It's still occasionally used as a studio, but it was dormant for several years. Like after Smallville left, no one used it for several years. And then at least Legends of Tomorrow had used it. I don't know what other productions used it outside of them, but I know Legends used it at one point. I don't know if any of the others did, but they did for sure. So yeah, all of this that would have been here didn't exist like 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago, 10 years ago. This would have been a big hole in the ground. There used to be something here like a storage facility or something that they had taken over that was that had gone out of business. And then, like I said, obviously they tore it down since then. But that is basically where most of Smallville's downtown metropolis scenes and all that were filmed. Yeah, exact opposite of Superman and Lois, where Superman and Lois built a downtown Smallville. They built a downtown metropolis instead. Yeah. So when we get to this corner, I'm gonna walk around, try and show you the front of the building. To be honest, it's a lot longer of a walk than I remember it being. Probably just because I'm okay, I finally made it up around the top side of the building. So I'll show you what the front of their building looked like, you know, well, still looks like, but I don't even know if it's a studio anymore. Like I said, I know Legends used it for a little while, but I don't know if anyone's used it in a while. Although it looks active right now. I wonder what's going on in here. It'd be funny if they're filming. Oh, there you go. You can see the name of the studio right there. Beresford Street Studio. So I guess it's still technically a studio these days. I didn't know anyone was using it lately. Oh, they have a production sign here for Fire Country. So I guess Fire Country is using this now. Yeah, that's news to me. Something I did not know about. Oh yeah, these trucks have Fire Country badges in the window. So yeah, looks like Fire Country has taken over the studio that used to be Smallville Studio and was at one point a secondary studio for Legends of Tomorrow, and I don't know if other productions used it in that time, but yeah, they are clearly here now. Fire Country deliveries. Well, yeah, pretty clear they have taken over now. So it's still in use, I guess. Someone's still using the old Smallville studio. So, like I said, all of these houses here were not here back in the day. They were nothing. So they had this as their primary studio, and then they slowly started building this way, and then when that property that was over there came open, they took that over and they made this entire area up to the end of these townhouses was downtown metropolis. And yeah, that is today's video. This was kind of a unique one because I had to leave the downtown core to go see it, and also because of the fact that, you know, between that big location from the Lucifer appearance and the fact that it's Smallville's old studio, I know this is probably an interesting one for some people. And yeah, that's it. I'm gonna sign out here. Oh, that was a lot more walking than I thought I was gonna be doing for this video. I thought I'd be done this video in like 6 minutes. I've been recording for 15 minutes, although you guys may not see the whole thing. I'll probably edit a couple of minutes of it out. But that's it for today. And location should be in the description. And yeah, until the next one, have a good one, and thanks. Bye.